Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Laurel Leader Call Sports Show. Remember, we're coming to you live on the Laurel Leader Call Sports Facebook page, on the Laurel Leader Call Sports YouTube page, and on our own Kevan Lindsey's personal fan page there on Facebook as well. So I'm your host, Jack Fairchilds. I'm joined alongside, of course, Kevan Lindsey, who I just mentioned, and my good friend and yours, Josh Guru Nichols, who might be playing injured tonight, but he's battling through various injuries, and we are happy that you're able
Just
to
had to have some
through.
donuts, didn't you, brother?
He did have some donuts, I hear.
Just had to have
Sitting on a big one.
It sucks getting old.
Yep.
I can't laugh because I've been there. So and you can draw your own conclusions. We're not going to go further. That might
mercy.
hurt. That might hurt.
No, that was all right.
Mercy sakes.
This is a hell of a way to start the show. Goodness. Well, let's get serious for a second, because the first story that we want to talk about is one we kind of fell into on Monday. We I got the call about a shooting that had happened, and had already gone and spoke to the Laurel Police Department and was working on the story when Kevin came in and said, "Hey, is that," when I told him what I was working, is that the one Ahmaud Hardy got shot in? I don't know. They didn't tell me who the victim was. And of course, I called my contact back, confirmed that Missouri All SEC running back Ahmaud Hardy was shot. He was shot in the upper leg. He is in stable and good condition. They say he's been moving around, is the reports.
Yeah, he got released, I believe.
I believe he has been since the last time I looked,
Yeah.
but I think you're right on that. Apparently he was shot at a rap concert here in Laurel, and along with at least one other confirmed victim, also was listed in stable condition. There was an unconfirmed third victim. I don't know if LPD ever found out if there was, in fact, a third victim. 3 suspects were initially picked up. They were released and cleared. So
Back to square one.
yeah, and according to our contact there at LPD, pieces were coming in slowly. So I think the Laurel Police Department feels good about the investigation. No new updates today, but it was kind of hectic for us on Monday, Kevin, because again, it turned into a national story. It was a story I was already working on, had no clue it was going to have national implications. And sure enough, I mean, Laurel Leader Call got referenced on ESPN. So amongst other national outlets, Kevin, and I appreciate your help in making sure we got that together. I think Guru added a few things too to make sure that we had pretty good story and coverage, because we knew there were a lot of eyes on that particular story. Pretty shocking, because again, you don't expect to hear of a shooting in the town you work in anyway like that, let alone for somebody that high profile athlete from the University of Missouri. Kevin, I'll let you give your thoughts first. So I mean, just kind of shocking all around.
Yeah, it really was. I'm actually, in case you're wondering, I'm linking the story of what you wrote and the updated story right now in the comments. If you want to take a peek at that, I encourage you to do that. So if you ever see me typing over here, I'm usually responding to someone or something like that. But you can find the link. I just sent it out. Yeah, just really interesting that it happened in Laurel, Mississippi, kind of unexpected. Of course, I hope that Hardy and the other victim, I hope they're okay, and I hope they fully recover. Obviously, Hardy was a standout athlete from Missouri, and all American, all SEC running back. I mean, from what I understand, a good kid, honestly. Just was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Don't know why. I just don't understand it. Why are we bringing guns to every event? This happens way too much. Stop being stupid. I know the three people who were questioned, and all this stuff. If you know who done it, come up and speak up and get.
You don't even have to do it publicly.
Right?
You
Yeah,
can do it
completely anonymously. Speak up, but stop bringing guns to this stuff like this, man. let people have a good time and stop bringing guns. You know, I don't know about y'all, but I was raised if you had a problem with somebody, you go up and punch them in the mouth if you got that big of a problem, and rarely does that turn deadly.
Yeah.
But we have a generation now that they just want to pull out a gun immediately and take care of it. And that's just stupid, especially when it's kids that got a lot of life left.
Yeah.
And just to confirm, Hardy was released from the hospital yesterday. Should be back in Columbia, Missouri by now. Said he would start rehab immediately once he returned. So good luck with him on that. And, you know, talking about being wrong place at the wrong time, guys, you know, the 3 suspects that initially got arrested for, you know, possibly committing this crime are cleared of any wrongdoing. And they're also victims of being in the wrong place
Yep,
at the
exactly.
wrong time.
Absolutely.
And, you know, you can read this story to see where this all this took place, but, you know, one would think that an establishment, something like that, where unfortunately this is probably more common than we hear about, you would think there would be surveillance footage. And I mean, you know as well as I do, both of you, that in this day and age that there's plenty of people that were there that had their phones out at some
Right.
point shooting videos, and somebody's got something. And I just go back to what you both said, and you know, anybody that has something that can help lead to an arrest, because I mean, these 2 confirmed victims, I mean, from all accounts and every bit of information we've gathered from the Laurel Police Department, you know, for one, Hardy was not somebody that the alleged shooter was aiming for.
Yeah, was not targeted.
Was not a target. Correct. That was the word I was looking for and couldn't find him. Enjoying my donut. But, you know, like they said, Crime Stoppers, it's anonymous. They don't need your name. They just need your information. Call them.
Yeah.
And you can call LPD and be anonymous. They
Correct.
are going to protect you if you're worried about something. So again, if you saw something, say something. It's that simple. Thoughts and prayers with Jones, thoughts and prayers with the other unidentified victim, and thoughts and prayers with the 3 that were picked up and were cleared, you know, because again, they had their names in the paper, they had their names put out there. So I understand that's definitely stressful for them as well, you know, so I understand all of that. It's one of those stories we didn't expect to have fall in our lap in Jones County, but here we are. And again, if you're gonna have an outdoor concert like this, just make sure you have enough security. And I'm not attacking any of the venue, but just make sure you have enough security, because we live in such uncertain times now that you probably, if you're going to do that, you probably need to beef up your security, because again, it's just, you just don't know anymore.
Yeah.
And that's the trouble. To Kevin's point of, you know, back in the day, you take somebody out the back alley and you'd settle it like men. That doesn't happen anymore.
I mean, we got dinosaurs running on the loose the same day. I mean, shit. Yeah, I mean,
We did. Yeah, we had
you
we
can
had
find
a
that story
dinosaur.
at theleadercall.com too.
Yeah, we're not going to get into that one again, because
I
that
just
was.
dinosaurs running loose on the
I would love it to see the actual arrest of a dinosaur. That would be so awesome.
Of course, when national news breaks loose, we have a dinosaur in the jail docket.
That is the perfect timing for sure. You know, Goober, you got any comment? Well said. Now let's get into, you know, not necessarily good news, but lighter news.
The
for
least
sure.
important of the most important news.
Well,
Unfortunately,
it is a sports show, so
Yeah.
it's still important.
yeah. So the unfortunately, our Lady Tornadoes, Laurel High girls flag football team, they could not finish the story and win the state championship. They did beat South Haven 21-0, but then fell to
George County.
George County 26-7. George County just seems to be a nemesis of schools in our area in multiple sports. And I was shocked when I saw the score, not necessarily because, again, you understand sports. Sometimes the team you really think is the best ends up not winning it. I was surprised by the score. I understand weather wreaked havoc on this entire event this weekend, and that may have been a factor. We don't know, but both teams had to play in the same conditions.
Right.
So it is what it is. But I mean, kudos to the Lady Tornadoes for an awesome inaugural season, for setting the groundwork, hopefully encouraging the county schools to follow suit. I think the future's bright for the Lady Tornadoes flag football team. Kevin?
Yeah, I think all in all, I know we talked about it, so I'm not going to hang on it long. I'll just say this: Jones County Schools, this is your challenge. You just saw what Laurel School District did. They went to the playoffs. They had
Semifinals.
they had a brilliant season. Jones County School District, it's time for you to step up. It's time for you to get flag football for these young ladies. I have every picture, every mention that I've talked about with Laurel School District and those girls playing flag football. There have been people in the county asking the same thing, saying, man, I wish that we had this in the county schools back years ago, and I wish we had it now. I'm challenging the school district and to find a way to get this flag football going on in the county.
If you can find the column I wrote, you could tag that and throw it up there too, because I already spoke my piece on that. But yes, congrats to the Lady Tornadoes finishing. They made it to the Final Four. They were 7-0 to start before they fell to George County, and had only previously given up 18 total points on the season. Very remarkable for a first-year team, and to be one of 4 teams left out of, I believe it was 45 or 47 that fielded a team this year. That's awesome for those girls. A bunch of them already have 2 state championship rings from basketball. Yep. So they were champions before they went into this flag football season. But like I said, I've already spoke my piece in regards to there are 3 county schools picking this up for the opportunity for more girls in Jones County to play this up and coming sport that is growing faster than I ever thought it would when I first watched a national flag football tournament for boys and girls last summer. And I talked to both of y'all about it here in the office, how exciting it was just watching that. And I know Kevin was fortunate enough to be able to go watch Laurel play a game this year, and just talked about their athleticism and just how much grit and fight, and how they were just determined to do whatever it took to win. And it's just something we need, because I have a feeling, I know I talked with just this past weekend, athletic director at Jones College, Chris Robinson, and this is something that there's already junior colleges throughout the country that have flag football on campus, and this is something that Pearl River already has, and I can almost guarantee you it's possible. I'm not this isn't
no spoiler.
This is not a spoiler. This is no inside info, but if Pearl River picks something up, there's a really good chance that Jones College is going to pick something up, because those are 2 rivals, and won't be surprised if Jones College has flag football next year. It's going to be Olympic sport in 28, so it's time. Everybody in Jones County needs to be playing it.
It's an Olympic sport in both men's and women in
Correct.
28. So all the more reason, and the county schools should definitely want to give Jones College players that they can pull from and recruit. So it makes sense. Hopefully we'll see it.
That's just another opportunity for girls to get a scholarship for something. And, being able to go even 2 years to junior college. My stepdaughter was able to do that volleyball. We didn't pay anything. And that's a lot of burden taken off parents when there's more opportunities, especially for our young female athletes, to be able to go on to the next level, even if it's junior college, and get that 2 years of free education knocked out.
And it's like we said last time we talked about flag football, once the universities pick this up and the NCAA, it will open doors for both men and women athletes. Because of Title IX restrictions, it might open the door for, say, a Southern Miss, an Ole Miss, or a State to add men's soccer to the equation, because now they picked up an additional female sport.
Correct.
So it opens more doors than just opportunities for girls. It also is going to open doors for other once it grows. So it's important to see it grow. There's a reason we keep talking about it, and I think that's one of the things we want to hammer home to folks as well. Speaking of Jones College, a more happy ending to a season. Kevin, you got a call or a text earlier this week about a special team there at Jones College. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the team and what you got to go up there and witness?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I think we all can be honest here. There's certain sports that we just can't follow as close, especially with baseball and stuff going on. But the Jones College girls or ladies tennis
I think
team,
it's women's.
Women's tennis team, they won the national championship. They were able to bring home the national title, and they had a welcome home ceremony. I'm looking up the article, make sure I get everything right, because I want to make sure they get their rightful acknowledgement and recognition.
First one for the entire state, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's the very first one for the entire state. They come home. It was kind of funny because we were expecting them to be jumping out, roaring, but they had been napping all the way back from South Carolina, so they were a little groggy, and they had on their pajamas, I think, and shorts and stuff like that. They were more so comfortable than anything else. But I was able to go out there and get some pictures of them coming off with the trophy and things like that. And it was the program's first national championship. And they added 3 individual national titles and 3 doubles titles at the Palmetto Tennis Center in Sumter, South Carolina. And like you said, Guru was first in Mississippi to do it. And I think the cool thing is they were the first in Mississippi to win a national title. But not only were they there, 3 of the top 5 were all Mississippi teams. You had, make sure I get my notes right, you had obviously Jones College winning it. And
3
then
of the
you
top
had
4, wasn't it?
I thought it was 3.
3 of the top 4, though, because
3 of the top 4.
2 of them tied for third.
Mississippi Gulf Coast and Coleman both tied for third. They really didn't have to do as much on the last day, just kind of get through the day to clinch the title. They had moved from NJCAA Division I to Division II prior to the start of the season. They have had an unbelievable conference record. They are I think it's over 90 wins and 0 losses over the past
Crazy.
7 years.
91 maybe?
I think it's somewhere along in there. But I talked with head coach Brooks Buffington, and he was just thankful for the coverage of coming out there. He's in his 10th year as coach for the women's team, and I don't want to mispronounce anybody's individuals of the girls on the team, but I'll say this. There's times whenever you feel gratified as working in this industry, and I text this to y'all, and I'll say it here. I felt really gratified going out there and taking pictures because the coach was out there thanking me. All the players were thanking me. I mean, there was a ton of just gratitude of being there because they talk about that there's very little media coverage, and they were thankful. They were thankful for the blurbs that we get out in the paper, just anything that you can possibly get out. They were thankful for, and I just thought it was really cool for that.
Well, that's something that in the business that we do of newspaper work is always a true blessing because we get over scrutinized for so many different things. I mean, not just sports, but because we all do news coverage as well. And, anytime there's a missed comma or, a word that was misspelled unintentionally, those are the little things that get pointed out. And then there's other stories that happen and people question why this is in there. Why is my divorce in there? Well, number one, it's all public knowledge. Number two, everything we report on is factual and it's not us making stuff up. Those are called columns. Those are opinionated pieces. But when you see a news story or a sports story, all we're doing is telling what either information we've witnessed in person or what information was given to us by either the court system or the police and sheriff's department, people that were there involved in the actual events that we cover. But going back to what Kevin says, being someone that's been doing this for more than a decade, and it's very minimal, unfortunately. But anytime somebody thanks you, especially in person, it really means a whole heck of a lot to anybody in this business, and not just the three of us.
Yeah, and a lot of times too with Jones College, they have their own PR team, so we don't necessarily have to cover a lot. The fact that they called and requested that, Kev was excited to go out there. I think you and I both joked that it probably won't be much of a celebration, because you've been burned before going to one of those. But it
Quite
sounds
a few
like
of us from here were that day.
but it sounds like it was very, very rewarding to be there. Congratulations to those ladies for again, just remarkable stats, and they definitely deserve their flowers for the season they've had, for bringing home another national championship there to Jones College. Speaking of Jones College, tonight they are hosting a baseball regional.
Super regional.
And
the junior college ranks, Jack.
Yeah.
Winner going to Enid, Oklahoma for the World Series.
That is correct. Best of three right here in Jones County, and right there at Jones College in Ellisville. Game, I think, starts at 6 p.m. It's going to conflict with another game we're going to talk about here in a second. But again, exciting times there for Jones College. Exciting time for baseball in our area all around, guys.
Especially in the city of Ellisville.
Yeah. Yeah. They're going to be playing against Northwest Community College. Again, we won't pick it until we get to the end of the show. But Guru, kind of tell us what you know here, because I know Jones wasn't expected to get there, let alone host a super regional. So they had some theatrics.
They had some things go their way. Fortunately for the Bobcats, they won the Pearl River Regional, shocking I think they were the nation's number one ranked team at the time. The Wildcats were, and Jones beat them one time 13-0, and then ended up losing to them, and then won the series to secure this super regional against Northwest, which I can't recall off the top of my head who Northwest played, but they also upset somebody, which allowed Jones, because they had a better record in conference play, to host the series in Ellisville. Should be good baseball there. It's slated for 3 games tonight, Thursday, and Friday if necessary. Thank God right now it looks like weather will not be an issue this week.
You're not supposed to say that out
for
loud.
The first time in a while. But yeah, it's big because, the Bobcats are looking to go back to the World Series. I think Northwest is seeking, if I recall off the top of my head, their first trip since 2007. Jones won it in 2016.
I think it was 2016.
And, just kudos to both of them, because whoever wins is going to be headed out there. Because they were already state champs. Pearl River is already qualified for the World Series. So who knows if things can go Jones's way over the next 2 or 3 days, they might get to play Pearl River in the World Series. I think that'd be kind of exciting if we were able to have Pearl River and Jones play for the whole thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That'd be sick.
Cat fight on dirt.
Of course, obviously we won't be there tonight, but maybe we'll try to make a trip out there tomorrow, Kevin. Kind of, again, exciting times for Jones College, for Ellisville across the board.
Yeah, it just shows how, obviously, colleges and social media teams, they're going to promote their school, and Jones does a really good job of that. But they back it up. Every program has had success, has had really, really good success, especially over the last decade, whether it's soccer program, softball under Chris Robertson has been unbelievable. Baseball, football has had success, just all the way
basketball.
down the board. Basketball, can't forget them. You had Missy Builder back forever at Jones College. Jones College was always a threat in women's basketball. And
Sandra Summerall before that.
Yeah, our JUCO, and I'll say this, our JUCO programs across the state are just exceptional. Anytime a kid gets to go, I don't see that being as a look down because they don't go D1 at all. I mean,
No.
just because our programs are so exceptional, even, you throw a Southwest that may not have as much football success or, Colin beforehand, whatever. Being able to get a scholarship, being able to go extend your career, your collegiate career, and your education is exceptional because we have such good JUCO schools.
You got to remember volleyball too. That's a
Yeah.
program that only started a couple of years ago at Jones, and they won back-to-back state titles.
Yeah.
And like going off of what Kevin said, and just using Southwest or Colin as an example, they might not be strong in football, but we were just talking about Colin finished tied for third at the national tennis tournament on the women's side, and every school kind of has their niche for the most part, but two schools, and that's just the two right closest to us being Jones and Pearl River, across the board are two of the stronger athletic programs from the beginning of fall classes to the end of the spring semester in almost every single sport. And that's a testament because, you can look at all the rosters from both of those schools, and there's a lot of people or a lot of students that are on those rosters that started playing on the fields here in Jones County.
Absolutely. So good luck to them tonight. We'll get into our predictions later in the show on that one. Last night, not the best performance from our South Jones Braves, but they were facing a buzzsaw last night. Again, we talked about the kid last week.
I was going to say, not just a buzzsaw, it's more like a one-man wrecking crew, at least on the mound.
Yeah, I mean, Drew Davis, his numbers, we talked about him last week. They've improved since then because of last night. It's just, again, I think there's a reason why we didn't really say, none of us, except for Kevin. I think Kevin did pick a sweep.
I got emotional.
I do think it was an emotional, so we'll give you a pass. But I mean, we weren't necessarily expecting a sweep because we knew Drew Davis was going to be a factor at least in one of these games. The good news is he can't pitch again in the series. The bad news is he can still hit. So again, the Braves are down 0-1, facing elimination tonight. But the good news is back at the reservation, Guru. Kind of tell us a little bit about Davis's night. I know you were the best you could keeping up with the game last night while we were delivering newspapers. So just kind of give us a recap and kind of tell us a little bit about the story of last night.
With Davis, the Mr. 5A baseball player in the state of Mississippi, only a junior, so speaks highly of him, kind of like Clay Talbert at West Jones, won it for Mr. Baseball for Class 6A, also only a junior as well. But we need that matchup next year.
We do.
I don't care if it's February 18th, but let them two go pitch for pitch.
I'd love to
see what would happen there. But Davis goes complete game 7 inning, gives up 2 hits, walks 3, strikes out 13. Most importantly, doesn't give up a run, as the Bobcats pretty much dominated in their 7-0 win. In his 4 trips to the plate, he had 1 RBI, going 0 for 1 with a fielder's choice. South kind of chose to pitch around him. He walked twice and one time unintentionally hit by a pitch. So he reached base 4 times, but, one was on a fielder's choice. So you don't get credit for that. But that, he's something I've talked about going into tonight's game that, South's going to have to focus on now, him even more closely when he's in the batter's box. Not going to have to worry about him on the mound tonight, or if we're fortunate enough to get a game 3 back at Summerall tomorrow. But I mean, a kid that's hitting almost 600 on the year in Class 5A is nothing to
with 11 home runs.
That's nothing to scoff at all, because that's legit. Because we know very well. I mean, we look down the road at Purvis from last year, and JoJo Parker, goes in the first round of the Major League Baseball draft, playing in the Blue Jays organization now. And I mean, you think about that. This time last year, that kid's playing in the playoffs.
Yeah. We watched him play against South at Jones College last year.
Right. And now, he's wherever. I'm sure it's either rookie ball or low single A, but, he's a professional now, and he got a heck of a lot of money to go there. His brother Jacob is having an outstanding freshman year at Mississippi State. The Twins, right down the road in Purvis. High school baseball here in the state of Mississippi and this is since back when I played, but before I played in high school. I mean, we're talking for the last 4 decades. There's been so many quality players come out of this state. And Drew Davis is just potentially another one of those kids that's got an opportunity next year, his senior year. But, right now I know Mr. Davis and the Bobcats, the only thing they're focused on is their trip to the reservation tonight, which, like Jack said, we'll talk about a little bit more moving forward. But regardless of who wins that series, they know who they're going to be facing after Pontotoc eliminated Caledonia over the weekend to advance to the 5A state championship there in Pearl. So, tonight should be fun.
It should be. Kevin, you and I, if you remember, we were talking to Northeast Jones coach Hunter McKeever after South knocked them out of the playoffs. And he even recommended, hey, if you're facing Davis game 1, maybe don't start Beckett, maybe don't start Walker. It seems like that's the strategy that Coach Strickland took. Now, Walker made an appearance last night. Walker Johnson made an appearance last night, but he didn't. Knowing Coach Strickland, and of course I know you'll probably have some fun things to say about him later in the show, but knowing him, he's never going to go into a game conceding a loss. That's right. Just not his mentality. But it feels like it was a smart strategic move to save maybe his 2 aces for game 2, which I believe Beckett Johnson is starting tonight, and 3 if you can force the game 3.
Yeah, I get it. I definitely, he's not going to just concede a loss, and you don't want to take away from Langley.
Yeah,
either.
Langley's
you don't want to take
outstanding.
away from, you don't want to take away from him by saying you're putting Langley up there and it's a guaranteed loss.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to slander that kid by any means. Mm-mm. You understand, though, that you got a player of the year, Mr. Baseball, on the other side of the mound. So it makes it hard. I'd say the wiggle room, if you don't have much wiggle room at all. Y'all kept up with it probably more than I did last night. And I think Walker came in with it was 3-0 for a few pitches. Couldn't get it out.
19 pitches, right? Good.
18.
Couldn't get it out. They moved on. I think that was a sign of Mason probably looking ahead and saying, okay, we're going to go ahead and pull him out, save him, don't burn him, don't leave him out. I think it was just see if you could keep it close, and you couldn't. So you have him tonight, and you have Beckett tonight, and, I said last week, if I looked at it, I figured it would go 3. I joked with it going 2 and said what I did, but I do think that this series was going to go 3. It's hard to win in Summerall. I like the strategy of Mason throwing Langley first, because if you
he kept Langley below the record, so Langley could be available for a game 3.
Right. So, I think that Strickland was playing his best game of chess that he could play game 1. I'll say that. With that said, you got Beckett on the mound tonight. You got home field advantage. The reservation is going to be rocking. The Russian bled, as we talked about. They've lost a couple of games. If you can just get it to a game 3.
Yep.
I think that's when, as Coach Trey Sutton said at West Jones, we're going to throw everybody we can throw out there on game 3. And I think that's the mentality that you have to have. If you get it to a game 3, use every bullet you got.
I think you got to do that tonight.
You think so?
You have to.
If you get a lead, though.
No. If you get a lead, you sit and roll with. If Beckett starts and Beckett can go 7 innings and you win 2-1, 1-0, it doesn't matter. But what I'm saying is tonight's do or die, baby. It
is.
Tomorrow's not guaranteed. I mean, the bullets, you got to empty the chamber tonight if you have to.
Yeah. It's essentially, you got to have a game 7 mentality, because you are facing elimination no matter how you slice it.
I mean, it doesn't matter who you have to use tonight. to get the win on
Yeah,
the
I
mound.
agree
You
with that.
use them, and then you regroup, and you know for a fact you got Langley for at least a few innings. I think there is still a pitch count involved over multiple games if I read the rules correctly, but he would be available to pitch tomorrow night. So you got him that you can start that game with and then work through it. However, you don't have to face Davis again during the series. So tonight you just have to let it all hang loose. And, that would, even though we're not in the preview stage, we're or the prediction stage and the preview stage here. I mean, that's what I tell you guys at South Carolina Zoo Braves, it's do or die, baby. I mean, you let it all hang out. You leave nothing left undone on that field. You give it your all, and the chips fall where they may, and you hold your head high, win or lose.
I think if you get Beckett and he gives you 7 innings,
You take that.
if you
take it all day.
I mean, if he gives you 7 innings and you come out, you throw Walker Johnson out there
And have Langley to
And,
go
yeah.
to possibly.
I mean, you have
And you got Ian Butler, who's pitched exceptionally well on the mound in relief this year.
Their best case scenario is Beckett goes the distance. If he doesn't go the distance, he gives you at least 5. At the very least, he gives you 5.
Yeah.
With the lead.
Yeah, with a lead.
Yep. Well, one thing that while I was doing show prep, and Kevin, I think you've got this pulled up over there as well. I just was searching because, again, I was trying to make sure I knew who won that Pontotoc series. And in my Google search, I found something.
God. I don't have it over here.
Where it says, I'll hand it to you.
Okay.
Because he's got a close camera. Guru's holding it up too. If you look at the bottom line there, Google's already telling us that they're playing Summerall.
Yeah.
It's already saying. Now it attributes it to which website is it?
Attributes it to Capital Sport.
I clicked on the link. It doesn't say that on there.
No, it doesn't. Okay, so
Does
Brandon
not.
Shields is okay.
So this is Google doing this. Google's already ruling you out, Braves. So if you're watching,
Need a little bulletin board material, boys.
this is your challenge. Well, we did not make this up. This is a real thing. They're saying Summerall's in the state championship. So it's on you guys to make Google wrong. It's just one of those crazy things we came across while doing show prep this week. I'm going to save this topic that we bumped from last week again for maybe next week when
We're
there's less
bumping
stuff.
her again. Huh?
We're bumping that one again. Because for one that we didn't have down, Kevin, is the Taylorsville Stringer series, where Taylorsville has forced a game 3 against Stringer. That's going to be tonight. We're going to pick that game too. Exciting when you got backdoor rivals playing against each other. So again, we're excited about that matchup.
And you got to give a shout out to the Mize Bulldogs for advancing
Yes.
to the state championship series.
Yep. And did we have anyone make it on the softball side or not, Kev? Did Stringer girls make it or not? They did not. So I wanted to get the update on that one because I wasn't sure. No problem. But no, so yeah, congrats to Mize. Good luck to Taylorsville and Stringer. We'll pick those here in a second. But Kevin, you've got an update for us because again, we brought up your good friend, your close buddy who's a little busy. He's not watching today, most likely.
If he is, he's lurking.
But you actually went to some wrestling this weekend and maybe talked to some people.
Let me tell you, boys, something. I went out to South John on Saturday night because I thought I was going to have a slow day, but went to Live in Laurel and listened to Rashad the Blues Kid for a bit, and then went and ate dinner with my mom for Mother's Day. She came out and we had a nice dinner, and I was by myself this weekend. Girlfriend was gone. Yeah, I have a girlfriend. I have a life.
Really?
Yeah,
I've heard other things.
Despite the rumors.
Yeah.
Went and ate dinner, and I said, you know what? I don't have much else going on, so I'm gonna go down to South Jones to the SWA Promotions. They were having their event. As I was told, it was kind of like their WrestleMania. huge crowd. I just want to say, really good crowd. And you know who wasn't there?
Who was not there?
Guru.
know? Guru was definitely not there.
Guru was not there. Head coach Mason Strickland was not there.
He-
and I
he-
understand, in all seriousness, he had other things.
Yeah,
happening.
he had a lot of things going on besides
Prayers up for him, right? But I kind of tossed the idea around of Mason Strickland coming out to the next pay-per-view event, the next event out in Moselle, and I've got people on board with it. I've got lots of people on board with it. The more I talk to people, the more they like the idea, and they believe that Mason Strickland's just dodging. They believe that Coach Strick is dodging because guess what? After, if they pull off and they beat Summerall and they go on, and God willing, we won't have a state championship team, with baseball. The next wrestling event, it's not going to be during baseball season.
And it's close by, too, I understand.
It's close by, something. And it's, what it's called?
What's it called?
Rise to the Occasion, I believe is what it's called. So you know what, Coach Strick? You going to rise to the occasion or you going to show up? I've seen the other South Jones coaching staff was there. I saw Mr. Casey Harrington there. I saw Coach Souls there. I saw some other coaches there. Our sheriff was there.
Didn't Coach Gleason, the soccer coach, didn't he participate
I
in the
believe
match?
he's participated in
He
some events. So where's the baseball coach? I'm just saying. I saw that it was a really good event for kids. Maybe Strick's scared of children too, and not just ponies. Maybe you don't want to make Braves Nation happy. I don't know. But all I'm saying is in just a couple weeks, you can look it up. Just a few weeks. SWA's going to be out in Moselle. And I think you got enough connections, Coach Strick. I think you got enough connections. You bring your back up, I'll bring my back up. And we'll see what happens. By the way, also, there was a great championship match.
That means you're going to have to go. You're one of his backup.
All titles changed hands Saturday night. And speaking of, Nick Wonder, he won the championship. He defeated Barry Wolf completely clean. There was no interference. There was nothing. I saw nothing documented. It was a completely clean victory that he beat over Barry Wolf.
What does this have to do?
They're saying, look, I'm just saying that they're saying that I'm a blind photographer. They're saying that I'm a blind photographer, but through my viewfinder, there was no help. Nick Wonder done it all by himself and beat Barry Wolf. Reggie Blackledge done nothing. No one else done nothing.
I was just letting
it
him
was
rant.
clean. It was a clean victory for Mr. Nick Wonder.
Goose about to fall asleep
I'm
again.
just saying. RWO, you need to get your facts straight, RWO.
Who?
The RWO, the Referee World Order.
Wait,
They were hounding me.
Did he say
They
Law
were
and Order?
hounding me.
he said something about referee.
World Order.
Law and Order.
Who cares what refs think? They blow
Exactly.
calls all
Who
the
cares
time.
what refs say? They were hounding me all night, and I'm sick of it. So I have a lot to say about a lot of people in Moselle. SWA hit me up.
Lord, let's not get him on a Badger topic because next thing you know,
Oh,
the whole thing will go off the
we
rails.
will go off the rails, brother. Sponsored by Dr.
Smell what Dr. Squatch is cooking.
Oh goodness. Well,
Anyway,
we may be having to go to a wrestling match there. Go.
It's your turn. I hosted one before, so you're the only one that hasn't been to an SWA event.
No, I've been to one.
When?
It was several years ago. I
Where?
told y'all about it. It was at Northeast Jones. Not a lot.
Eli.
It was for a young man's birthday gift. I was there with.
I thought that was nitro.
No, I've done that too, but that was a different snore.
Oh.
Anyway,
The person we were going for wasn't alive when nitro was still a thing. Anyway,
That's how much I keep up.
there you go. Well, let's move on before we get to our picks.
Before we get to our picks, I got to give a shout out to sister-in-law Dina Nichols, Sam's wife. Not saying that RT crap you told me to say, but I will say, round the bowl, down the hole, roll tide, roll. There you go, D. Carry on.
That was weird.
IYKY.
Oh goodness. Wild card question, and this one.
Da, 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 da,
Put
da, da.
your phones out of reach. We're gonna do a little bit of trivia because this is something I saw the other day. And
Oh, he's got a whole computer over there. Don't touch that
yeah,
keyboard,
don't
buddy.
touch the keyboard.
I will throw this cup of water.
Out of the 4
Oh, crap.
major sports leagues in America, which league and which franchise is the last one to win 4 straight championships? Kevin, you got to guess first.
4 straight.
4 straight
Out of the big 4.
out of the big 4.
I don't know enough about hockey, bro.
Well, then you're probably not going to get this one.
Chances are it's hockey.
Take
Ain't
a
it?
guess.
It's hockey, right?
I'm not saying that. It's
Oh my God,
one of the
man.
big 4.
Not
You hadn't even made a guess, so how do you qualify for a clue?
The last thing I
Unless
remember.
we can tag team this. It's not going to be football.
It's not football. The Steelers. I was thinking the Steelers with Bradshaw. I couldn't remember if they won 4 in a row.
There's never been
Four
the
times.
last team in the NFL to win 3 straight. Wasn't 3 straight Super Bowls, but that was the Green Bay Packers.
Hmm.
I don't know if there's ever been a
They
4
won
straight
1 and
champ.
2, and then the Ice Bowl.
The Ice Bowl was before Super Bowl 1. They
Right,
won
that's
the
what I'm saying.
championship the year before.
That's what
the
I'm
Ice
saying.
Bowl.
Those are the
Yep.
3.
It's not basketball.
Mm-mm.
Because the Spurs dynasty was like 3 out of 4, 4 out of 5.
It could go all the way back to the Celtics in the 60s.
I don't know. It could.
I don't think it's
Bill
baseball.
Russell and them.
It's not baseball, is it? Is it the Yankees or the Sox?
Could be.
Not the Sox.
Not
It's
the
the
Sox.
Yankees, right? Didn't the Yankees win go 4 straight in the 90s?
Dude, do you wanna have your own guess?
I
He's
know.
good. You're
I
going
know
Yankees.
they beat the Braves in '96 because I'll never forget Mississippi native. Was it Charlie Hayes?
Mhm.
Caught the foul ball down third base line to end the World Series.
But I don't know.
I'm gonna go
It's
New
hockey.
Jersey Devils hockey.
I'm gonna go the Stanley Cup hockey team.
The Stanley Cups with the hockey team wins, Kevin.
Uh,
That's like saying the
I'm gonna
Lombardi
I'm
Trophy.
gonna go the Mighty Ducks.
They
Mighty
haven't
Ducks.
even won but one.
Y'all are right. It was in the NHL, but you're both wrong. It was the New York Islanders who
Wow.
won it. I think it was 70. It was 80, 81, 82, 83.
And they suck now.
I know. That's what I came across that the other day, and I was
Wow.
like, I would have never. I didn't know they won 4.
At least we
let
got
alone
the
Ed
4.
Murphy got that right. He commented.
He
right
had all
before
the
you
time
said it.
to.
Yeah, he could have
Google.
Googled it.
I don't believe that. He's a trivia merchant. I don't
He
believe
is. He is a trivia merchant, so you might want to give him the.
Oh, okay. My apologies, Pat. Pat would know that because Pat's from the area originally. I forgot I didn't catch the Murphy part. Never mind. My apologies, Pat. You did not Google it. I know you knew that answer. Your brother wouldn't have known it though.
That was.
He would have said the Jets.
But yeah, that was one I was watching a documentary and that came up, and I was like, I'm going to make that the wild card question this week. So
Hey, at least we both got the sport right, Kev.
Yeah.
He said he did not cheat.
I just said you didn't. Listen,
He's
Patrick.
probably behind by about 10 seconds.
oh goodness, I think it's time to get into some picks.
Right? Let's get
Now
the picks.
we're going to be doing a live pregame show at Sal Jones. It'll be myself, Kelvin Dog Smith, and
Cracker Jack.
Cambridge McDaniel. Kevin's going to join us later in the game because he has a previous engagement he has to attend. So we will be doing that probably at 6:30 here on the Laurel Leader Call Sports page on Facebook. We will not be on the YouTube page. We will not be on Kevin's personal page for this one.
Yeah.
So just tune back for that. So I'm going to forego making picks because we're going to pick at the end of that show, but I'm going to go over the picks. We'll start with the Taylorsville at Stringer, Game 3 tonight. I know who we all picked to win the series last week, but things change when you start to see games. Has anything changed in your mind tonight, Kevin? Who you got?
Yeah, man, it actually did. Stringer won a 3-0 game 1, and Taylorsville comes from behind. I picked Taylorsville in the last one. This Stringer team is hot, man. In the Devil's Den, baby. It's in the Devil's Den with that big left field wall. Give me the Red Devils. Give me the Red Devils. I think this is an upset. If they win it, I think it's an upset.
I picked Stringer last week. Why would I change now? Devil's Den, Pat Murphy, ask your brother about the time he almost broke his leg covering a football game out there in the Devil's Den. Hilarious. But yeah, the Devils, it'd probably be a close one again. But Red Devils too much at home. It's gonna be a fun one. I'm gonna go 5-3 Stringer.
I think one thing would be how many fan ejections happen in this game. There might be more fan ejections than run scores.
Well, if it was like our coworker Lakin told us about a new rule implemented in the travel ball organization that her husband and son participate in, just saying, come on, Blue, can get you ejected. So if they went off that premise, there'd be about 9 people left come the 7th inning.
It's a rowdy crew over there, Stringer, and Taylorsville ain't no different, baby.
I think it's going to be a fun atmosphere, and it's kind of condensed together, so they're both going to be right on top of each other too. So, yeah, it's going to be a fun game. I'll give my pick later this evening. Next, we've got the big Jones Super Regional. We've got Jones versus Northwest. Who wins, and in how many games do you have this series going, Kevin?
Jones wins it. They win it in the least amount of games possible.
That'd be 2.
That would be 2.
It's a 3-game series game.
Well, there you go.
I mean, it wasn't a false statement. He did say in the least amount of games possible. He didn't preface that. We didn't preface that it was a 3-game series. But
I'm just saying,
you know,
in the least amount of games possible.
They always say that newspaper men don't do the best math. So
that's fair.
No, I totally agree with Kevin. Jones has owned Northwest and Ellisville over the last dozen games. I think they beat them 10 times. I don't think Northwest takes a game. Jones with a 2-game sweep, and they're moving on to Enid for the NJCA World Series next week.
Gonna be awesome. Let's go to the game that we will be at here shortly. Summerall at South Jones, Game 2. Backs against the wall there for the Braves. They've already been counted out by Google. Google has already said Summerall is in the state championship. Kevin, you predicted a sweep for the Braves. Did not happen. Has that shaken your confidence in the Braves? Are they going to get it done tonight and force a Game 3?
They're forcing a Game 3, baby. Give me the Braves on the reservation tonight. It's going to be a close one, though. I'm going to say 3-1, 4-2. We're all in there.
The Braves are going to win by 2 runs one way or the other.
Yeah.
It's all 2s tonight.
Helping the math.
This is going to be a prediction with an if thrown in it. If Beckett Johnson does get the start, regardless if it's Beckett or Walker, they got to give 5 strong innings and no less than it be a tie ball game when they come out. If Coach Strickland can get a pitching performance from his starter of a minimum of 5 complete innings and they are not losing the game, then I would be comfortable with picking the Braves to win. in any other type of scenario, unfortunately, I think Summerall does prove Google correct and advances to play Pontotoc.
You've got Summerall closing it out tonight.
If my if doesn't happen.
I'm hoping your if happens. I
am too.
I'll give my pick at the stadium tonight.
Oh, wow.
It's going to be an electric atmosphere. Kevin will be there. Like I said, later he won't be able to be there for the pregame show.
Lee Rowell says, sorry, Summerall completes the sweep tonight. Ooh, rough.
I just read your sign, and I'm not sure.
That's a shout out to my boy Will, who watches the show.
Oh goodness, but yeah, it's. I think tomorrow, if South wins, we may come back and do a short pick of game 3. So I don't know that we'll be able to go to Summerall tomorrow night. Maybe we will. I don't know.
It depends on if the locust or whatever's rolling through there.
Yeah, before we sign off, we got to mention
That's a good thing you brought that up.
Yeah,
That's
because
insanity.
The 1A softball state championship at Southern Miss, right down the road in Hattiesburg, had to be stopped last night because the plague or the end of times began as termites swarmed the field. I mean, Kevin, you said you saw a video. You couldn't even see the scoreboard on the video.
Yeah, a friend of mine, Bobby McDuffie, shout out to him. I'm sure anybody who's a sports fan around here, high school sports, has seen some of Bobby's photos. Bobby had a photo of the scoreboard, and it was just like covered. It like the scoreboard was obstructed because of all of the freaking locusts, termite, flying ants, and pigs and all that, or whatever they got flying out there. That's crazy, dude. Like, man, my grandma would be shouting the end of times are coming if that was. She saw
it's funny that it takes me back to last weekend when I was watching last Friday night. I believe it was Vanderbilt, Missouri playing in Columbia, Missouri. I guess we started the show talking about Missouri Tigers, so let's wrap it up with Missouri Tigers. But they're playing baseball. Vanderbilt, they got a 1-run lead in the top of the 9th inning. The fog, I've been watching the game since probably 7th inning, and I was noticing the fog coming in from the outfield. And as the game wore on, every time they would use the camera that's above home plate and focused on the outfield, as every 10 minutes of real time elapsed, it got harder to see the scoreboard. It got even harder to see players. And by that part in the 9th inning, when one of Vanderbilt's better hitters came up with, I believe that there was runners on first and second, and he hits a ball out to right field. Now, granted, I'm watching this on TV, and as soon as the ball goes into the air, they pan to that overhead camera looking out to right field. You can barely make out a human being standing in right field, let alone what color his uniform, hat, or glove are. All you can see is him just throw an arm up because he knows the ball's hit somewhere in his direction, has no idea where the ball is. Mm-hmm. There was a 15-minute stoppage in play because at first they just thought that the ball was hit out of the park for a 3-run homer and a 2-run Vanderbilt lead. And they even show 5-7 minutes later, a Vanderbilt fan who happened to be sitting in the outfield bleachers went and got a baseball from God knows where. And he's holding it up saying he's got the ball. But I texted with my brother, and I'm like, how do we know that ball didn't just bounce over the fence? Because you can't even see the warning track. You can't see the fence. And they suspended the game. They come back the next day, and the SEC went over it in Birmingham through the night and the next morning, and they determined somehow by the distance that the ball traveled that there was no way possible that it could have flown over the fence in the air, so it was ground rule double, whatever. Missouri ends up winning the game anyway, but it was so weird. It's the first time I've ever seen a baseball game at any level called in the middle of the game because of fog.
While you were talking, it made me think of something at the high school level with Summerall, and then we'll get out of here. It was like my first year covering in Hattiesburg, and I was at a Summerall game, and I think it was Summerall, Northeast Jones, or somebody from Jones County, and we had an influx of bats come through. The little fruit bats, they're like this big. They were like, there was at least a dozen of them. And they were, because the lights were on, they were coming down trying to get the moths and stuff, the bugs. Dude, these little fruit bats just dive bombing and like nearly hitting players because they're dive bombing in there. It was so freaking funny, man. The pitcher is winding up and he's getting ready to pitch, and the fruit bat just dives on him. And they were going to call a balk. Like, there was as he stopped, there's a bat diving down on him. And it's like,
Was
do
he
you call
supposed
a
to do?
balk in this situation? Do you call animal control? We got through the game, but it was funny.
Good thing for that bat that wasn't Randy Johnson on the mound, or he'd have
Right.
been obliterated.
Right. Anyway, I thought about that.
Oh goodness,
That was fun, guys. Way to wrap it up on a good fun note.
we did
Locusts,
Kevin's
termites,
his
fog, bats,
signs,
signs
Fearing
of the times.
challenges to local baseball coaches. So yeah, we had a little bit of everything. No sign about fearing ponies this week. I'm a little disappointed. Anyway, guys, this has been the Laurel Leader Call Sports Show. I'm your host, Jack Fairchilds, and for Kevan Lindsey and Josh Guru Nichols, we'll see you guys later this evening at the reservation.